Okay, today is Friday, November 8th, and today I was kind of just thinking about, I don't know, kind of trying to just reframe my mindset for all the things that I want to do. I think it's pretty relatable to say that, like, we all have goals I feel like most of us probably have pretty ambitious goals. And I was kind of just thinking about all of my ambitious goals and how I need to reframe how I'm thinking about them. Because, I don't know, I just feel like it's connected. My goals are connected to a lot of the problems that I have with my life, honestly. It's connected to just the repetitiveness of my life, like pretty much doing the same stuff every day. And I think that is causing me to, when I have roughly the same schedule every day and every week and stuff, it is easy to get off of the mindset of improvement with my goals, because I'll just be like, oh, it's just another workout. Oh, it's just another video, that kind of thing, because I'm just like doing it another day, that kind of thing. I was just thinking about like how I have these ambitious goals and it feels like I'm not improving at them. And there are so many outside of just these few goals. There's so much stuff I want to do with my life. And there's so much stuff that I want to be doing. And I guess I was just feeling very lost. I don't know if lost is the word, but I just feel like my goals are not where they should be at in terms of my mindset and in terms of my improvement. So I guess I kind of just want to talk through this with you guys, hopefully make some new insights as I'm talking that'll be helpful for both of us. So I basically what I want to talk about is just how we can reframe our mindset for our goals and for all of these ambitious goals, because we all have ambitious goals, and most of us probably have quite a few goals, right? Most of us probably don't have like we probably have at least more than 5 goals. And when I say goals, I just say like some relatively long-term thing you want to do. Like, it is a goal of mine to reach 1,000 subscribers before the end of the year. That's not as long-term because it's only like a month and a little bit away, but like it used to be more long-term. Like, that is a goal of mine. Yeah, so we all have, most of us, and if not all of us, have pretty ambitious goals. And even if they're not ambitious, we all have goals. We all have things we want to do in life. Not even just like goals as a word, but just things we want to do outside of our daily routine, or even already within our daily routine. If you have a goal and you want to be working on it, the things you need to be working on need to be effective, right? And the way you work on it, like the mindset you have and how you think about these goals, affects your progress. And I guess that's kind of just what I wanted to talk about today. So the first part, we need to be improving. I feel like because I've created this structure for my day that is very repetitive. Lately, it's just been feeling like I've not been making progress, and I'm just doing the same workout every day or the same routine every day, and I'm not actually improving. I don't know. For some reason, I just feel like I'm not incorporating enough improvement in my life. And I was thinking about this when I was working out. Like, improvement requires, if I think about like the person, like who is the person who is like really improving at their goals every single day, and they're really like quality work, quality improvement, and not just quantity, right? When you want to improve at goals, you need to have quality improvement. It can't just be the same thing every day. And when I think about what that person is, I think, okay, they're evaluating like quite often and figuring out where they are and what their weaknesses are, and figuring out problem solving to figure out how to move on from that like mistake or those problems that they have in their goals, right? That's what I think about when I think about someone who is highly effectively improving, like quality improvement. But I feel like I'm on the other side. I'm the person who's just like quantity and just trying to get more reps, which is, in some cases, more reps is the thing you need. But in most cases, like, you need quality, like deliberate practice. I'm pretty sure I've talked about that in another video. You need deliberate practice. constantly evaluating and trying to improve on where you are at. And it just feels like because I've have a pretty repetitive life, it feels like I'm not doing that. I'm not doing the quality focused improvement part of it. Yeah, I just feel like I'm not improving. And I guess how we can combat this is to just have regular evaluations. Like recently I've been doing an actual weekly review, and that's really helped me just reframe my mindset for the week and just have a good mindset and mostly just have a good mindset for the week. But in terms of like improving on your goals and making progress, you need to be consistently evaluating. You need to be consistently reviewing your work. So I think what I'll do is I'll add on to the weekly review Notion template that I already have. If you don't know, I'm trying to make like free Notion templates for you guys. So I already have a weekly review Notion template, but I will add on a certain part that relates to this video about making sure you're improving every week. But yeah, I think within that weekly review, like make sure you're evaluating and you are analyzing and you are improving. Those are the 3 things that I just thought of that I feel like is important for improvement and progression in your goals. So even though we have all of these goals, I'll probably talk more about this later, but if you want to be like truly quality, like really good at something or really focused on this goal, then you can't have 6 other goals along with it. It has to be focused, and you can't have focus if you have too many things around you, right? So you need to be it needs to be quality improvement. So you need to evaluate, you need to understand where you are at with measurables. I've talked about that before. Just making sure you have clear measurables and clear understanding of where you're at right now, and making sure you understand what the standard is, right? So if you have some goal, let's say your goal is I'm going to start a YouTube channel because that's on my mind right now. Let's just use my goal. My goal is to get 1,000 subscribers before the end of the year. That's the standard. So I need to evaluate, okay, I'm at like 855, I think, right now. So that is a very, very clear measurable for like where I'm at now and what the standard is. Now, that kind of goal it's technically, if you think about like super well-defined goals, it's not really a well-defined goal because a lot of that is not in my control. Like I can't control someone to subscribe. I can just try to make the best videos I can. So I think, okay, I have 150 subscribers more that I want to get. So how can I get there? What can get me more subscribers? What can I do to make more videos and just be more helpful to people? Because that's ultimately the goal. And that subscriber count to me shows me like this amount of people I can help these people. So if I want to help 1,000 people, then like what can I be doing to make sure my videos are actually doing that and actually being helpful? Right? So we want to evaluate and understand where we are and what the standard is, and we need to analyze that and just make sure like understanding how can we bridge that gap. And this ultimately requires like problem solving. I feel like I don't talk about this enough, problem solving, because it's on my mind a lot, but just problem solving and figuring out how can we get from A to B. And that is a different path for everyone. That is something about goals that I feel like is not talked about enough. The path from A to B is vastly different for everyone. Like in sports, when you look at all the people who have succeeded in sports, let's say like someone who plays in the NBA or the MLB or something like that, their paths are so different. If you just look at like 10 people, I can almost guarantee you their paths are really different. They go to different colleges, different level colleges. They started at different ages. Maybe like some people as a senior in high school, they had no offers, but then all of a sudden now they're playing professionally. Like that kind of thing. There's different paths for everyone. So for you need to use your brain and you need to use your experiences and you need to use what you know to figure out that bridge between the A to B point. Your A is like the evaluation. Where are you right now? And your B is like the standard, so your goal. How can you build the bridge from A to B? but they're just basic, like, problem solving. I don't know if that's the right word, but just like thinking logically and thinking like, how can I get from A to B? How can I get from 855 subscribers to 1,000 subscribers? Just analyze it. Okay, so that is 145 subscribers more, right? So how can I get people to subscribe? Now, obviously, like this goal, a lot of that is not in my control, and it sounds weird to be thinking, how can I get this person to subscribe? But ultimately, what that leads down to, as I analyze that more and more, it just leads down to me making good videos and me making helpful videos. So how can I improve at making helpful videos? There's so many different aspects to improve. You can evaluate at different levels. You can evaluate that at the high level, and you can evaluate at the low level. I am getting so worked up right now. This is so funny. So, like, I evaluated at the high level, but then I can also evaluate, okay, like, how can I improve these videos that I'm making? There's so many different aspects to making YouTube videos, and I am on the lowest end of that. Like, I am not good at making videos. I've basically just started. So my skill level is just not there for YouTube. So there's so much stuff I can improve on. So every video I want to be like, how can I make the editing better? How can I make the thumbnails better? How can I make the titles better? How can I make the color grading better? That kind of thing. There's so much you can improve, and there's so much to work on, and that is very overwhelming. That is something that I've been thinking about a lot today. Like, improvement is very overwhelming, because the more you try to improve and the more you think about your improvement and the more you evaluate, the more you realize how you are such a beginner. At least from my experience, this is what I found. Like, the more you it's like the, what is it called? The Dunning-Kruger effect? Like that little wave, or the little hill thing. Like, when you are just learning something, you feel like you know everything. But then as you learn more and more, you realize you actually know less and less. You actually don't know that much. I think there's a quote by Albert Einstein that talks about that. I'll find it and I'll put it on the screen. The more you improve and the more you learn, the more you realize how much more you need to learn. So that is very overwhelming. But the thing is, I talked about this a couple days ago, just take it one thing at a time. Because consistent improvement is literally as long as you are consistently improving and doing one thing at a time, just being consistent every single day, working on these things that you know you need to improve on, then eventually you'll look back and see and be like, oh my goodness, look how far I've come. And literally I experienced this today. I watched one of my older videos. It was I don't even know. It wasn't even that long ago. It was a few months ago, one of my older videos. And I was like, whoa, my videos are actually way better now. And my editing is actually way better now. And it was just very encouraging because it feels like I haven't been improving that much. But it just shows that it compounds, right? 1% better every day, and it's 37 times better in a year or whatever. I hope that made sense. Improvement is overwhelming. But if you take it one thing at a time, you're consistently evaluating and analyzing and evaluating more and understanding how to get from point A to point B and figuring that out, analyzing it and figure out how can you build that bridge between point A to point B piece by piece, plank by plank. Build that bridge plank by plank. Every day put another plank on and get a little bit closer to your goal, right? So I hope this is encouraging to you. Because like I said, it's very overwhelming. We have lots of goals. I have 3 main goals that I have right now, but behind that, there are so many other goals. There's so many other things that I want to do in life. That has been such a problem for me, pretty much my whole life. There's just so much stuff I want to do, and there is so much stuff you can do. There is so much stuff in this world that we can do and that we can learn about, and a lot of it is very interesting to me. But I have to remind you, David Allen, who is the guy who wrote Getting Things Done, which is it's basically just a book about being productive. He said, you can do anything you want, but not everything you want. And this quote has been so helpful for me. Like, it is kind of like a harsh reality. I want to do so many things. I want to learn so many things. I want to learn so many skills. I want to accomplish so much stuff. And I believe that like, I feel like we all have that, right? But you can do anything you want, but you can't really do everything you want. Because if you do what I said, I actually believe if you are consistent and you are deliberately analyzing and improving through that consistency, I actually do think you can probably, like 99% chance, you can achieve what you want with time, right? Not overnight, but just consistent improvement. But you can't have everything you want. And that is kind of a harsh reality that I have needed to accept recently, because I am getting so overwhelmed with all the things I want to do and all the things I want to improve on. But just take it one thing at a time. For me, it's been helpful to have 3 main goals for my life right now to focus on. And obviously, like, through different stages of your life, those 3 things will change. But I think having 3 goals is a good number, and it's just a good amount to be having variety in your life, and you're not just working on one thing all the time, but also just achieving the things you want to achieve. Another thing that I was thinking about, more related to just how many goals we have, and how goals are just an overwhelming concept in general. Like, the amount of goals that we have, and then within each of the goals, the amount of improvement that we could have is just like a deep well of forever. But also, like, when we accomplish a goal, within that same topic or like skill you're trying to learn or whatever, there are so many more goals down the road. So goals are very, very 3-dimensional and very, very deep. Like, it's like a very large cube. It's like the z-axis, like going through it, is like one goal to the next goal within the same within the same topic or skill or whatever. Like, once you get to a goal, you always move the goalpost, and there's always a new goal you want. Like, once I get 1,000 subscribers, I'm gonna want 10,000 subscribers, that kind of thing. So that's like on the z-axis. On the y-axis, there are just so many goals in general, so many things in life that we can learn and that we can improve on. Like, I want to be good at YouTube. I want to be good at softball. I want to be good at working out. I want to be confident. There's so many stuff that I want to work on, right? So that's like on the y-axis. And then on the x-axis, within each of your goals, there's so much improvement that you can do. Like, YouTube is it's not complicated, but like, there's so much stuff about it that I can improve on. And softball, there's so much stuff about it that I can improve on. And like social skills, there's so much stuff about it I can improve on. There's so many tiny details and so many characteristics and so many different, like, what are they called? Different like subheadings, right? Like, if your goal is the heading, there's so many subheadings of all the things you can improve on. So goals are very 3-dimensional and very deep. I'm going to draw this out because this actually makes a lot of sense. Okay, so I actually drew this out because this actually makes a lot of sense, because this is basically just what I said, so I'm not going to explain it again. This is your cube of goals. You can pause and look at it because I actually feel like this makes sense. Let me know if that was helpful for you. But yeah, goals are very 3-dimensional, and I guess within these 3 dimensions, we can have different mindsets to think about it. So like the mindset I was talking about, like, you can have anything you want, but you can't have everything you want. That's the x-axis of things. That's the side where there's so many different goals. There's so many different little cubes that you can improve on and that you can do in your life, but you can only highlight, you can only fill up those boxes, you can only fill up those cubes within a few of them. You may have tens, hundreds, maybe even thousands of things that you want to do in life, but you can really only do some of them. I don't know what that number is. I don't know how much stuff you can do in life, because that depends on so many factors, but you can't do all of those things. So that's like the y-axis. You can only fill some of those boxes. The mindset for thinking on the z-axis, so there's so many different goals within the same skill. So within YouTube, I want to get 1,000 subscribers. I want to get 10,000. I want to get 100,000. That kind of thing. Within working out, I want to be able to do 10 pull-ups consecutively whatever. I want to be able to do 20. I want to be able to do 30. But then there's also all the different exercises within working out. Like, it's very deep. There's so many different goals within the same topic or skill or whatever. And I guess the mindset for that is to just be grateful for the process. That is something else that I was thinking about today. When your life is really repetitive and when you're overwhelmed by all these things you can be improving on and all these things that you want to improve on, you have to enjoy the process. So whether that's on the macro or the micro, or whether you complete a goal and then you're like, oh wait, now I want this next thing, you have to be grateful and you have to make sure that you understand how far you've come within your evaluation. You need to make sure like, wow, I've actually come really far. You need to be grateful for where you're at. Don't just focus on what's wrong about you. Don't just focus about what you need to improve on. Focus on like, what have you improved on? What have you fixed? What are you good at right now? And you have to be grateful for those things. And yes, it's good to like keep moving on to those next goals, but you always need to have the mindset of being grateful of where you're at. And you always need to have the mindset of just enjoying the process and enjoying it, and not always being so negative about how much you don't have. That is honestly where I was at today. Like, I was just feeling very negative. About all the things that I didn't have. I'm still super skinny. I'm not eating enough. I'm still like not even that good at softball. Like, yes, I work hard, but like, has that really been improving? Like, am I really good enough to play on the team I want to play on? Yes, I may have a YouTube channel and I've been posting consistently, but like, have I actually been improving? Like, are all these people who are watching my videos just thinking like what is this girl? She's just yapping and her information isn't helpful. Like, am I actually helping anybody? Like, that is what I was thinking today. I was just thinking about all the things that I don't have together. But if you want to sustainably still be accomplishing these goals and moving on to the next one, you have to be grateful for where you're at, and you have to understand that you can't just focus on the negatives. You have to focus on the positives at some point or another. So that's your mindset for accomplishing these goals within certain bigger goals. You have to be grateful, and you have to understand that where you're at is where someone else wants to be. Where you're at is what you used to pray for. Where you're at, past you would look at you and be like, oh my goodness, they are so blank. They are so cool. They are so like successful. They are so productive, like that kind of thing. You have to understand that, because if you don't, then you will ultimately not be able to sustainably accomplish and keep accomplishing your goals. You will burn out. And that is why I think hustle culture is bad, because they're always just like, focus on this one goal and only do that one thing, and you just focus hard, and you do need that. But you also need to reflect, and you also need to understand how far you've come. So that is your mindset for the Z-axis. So then on the Y-axis, going this way, like going up and down, there's so many tiny nuances to certain goals. Like I said, YouTube, there's so much I can do with editing. There's so much I can do with thumbnails. There's so much I can do with titles. There's so much I can do with my camera. There's so much I can do with my audio. There's just so much. And within those things, there are even more subheadings. And the mindset I would give for that is to just take it one thing at a time. Because when you look at all that, yes, it's very overwhelming, but it's also very hopeful, and it's very exciting. At least for me, it's like when I have a long to-do list and I actually accomplish that to-do list, I'm like, whoa, that was so satisfying, and it's just such a great feeling. There's a reason why in video games, when you have your little quest log, when you have those little accomplishments and you just keep playing that game and you never stop playing it because you keep accomplishing the next task, think of it the same way. Think of it like a video game. You just have all these little tasks, all these little things you can improve on. So just take it one thing at a time. Break it down into small pieces. Understand, like, this is evaluation at the micro. Understand where you're at and where you need to be, and try to solve that problem to accomplish this tiny little task, try to just improve 1% better. And ultimately, that will lead to larger improvements, and you will eventually see, like I said, you will see like how far you've come. So when you see all this long list of things you have to improve on, take it one thing at a time and enjoy the process and just have fun with it. It doesn't need to be so. I think we just need to add more fun into life. This is so important. We need to add more fun into life. This is like my petition. Add more fun to life. Because a lot of life is very negative. That is just a fact. Like all of the news stuff, like all of the media stuff, I would say probably 90% of it. I don't really read the news, so I wouldn't really know. But I do know that like a lot of news and like media stuff is very negative. And we just need to make life a little bit more fun. Just have fun with it. Like when you have fun with things, it just makes it so much better. And like that is a fact. Having fun when you're doing things just makes it a better process. So yes, like go study with your friends, even though you might not be like super optimal, super productive. It's more fun. And like just have fun with it. Goof off. Like, you will still get those things done, but just, like, have fun. We need to make life more fun, and we need to enjoy the process more. So when, like I said, when you see this long list of improvements, look at it like a video game. These are all just little 1% improvements that you can do. Evaluate, analyze, understand where you need to be, and then when you're doing that, just, like, have a little fun with it. Play some music. Do it with friends. Do it in a way that's, like, might not be the most optimized, but it's like the more interesting, more fun way. That is totally fine. So, that is what I learned today. That is how you overcome your overwhelm with goals, because I was feeling very overwhelmed with my goals today, and I don't know, hopefully we can both apply this. We can both just have more fun with it, be more consistent and sustainable, and just try to actually make sure, like, not only make it sustainable and consistent and like have fun with it, but to actually be improving. So it kind of checks off all the boxes. I hope this video was helpful for you. It was definitely helpful for me. I was kind of just talking through what I was thinking about, and I actually found a cool system, a cool 3-dimensional way of looking at goals, which is really cool. So if you like this video, then definitely hit the like button. If you want to see more, then definitely subscribe, because I'm posting every single day talking about what I learned that day and how I'm trying to apply it to my life and how you guys can apply it to yours. So yeah, trying to make really helpful videos. I feel like I'm trying to make this more of like a collaborative, communal experience. Just trying to collaborate with trying to make life easier and more fun and just making life good. So yeah, if you want to see those kinds of videos, then definitely subscribe. Like I said, I'm posting every single day, so you can count on me when you wake up in the morning or when you get off work or something. I will have a video out that you can watch and use to apply to your life and just make it better by that much. I have one last parting statement, and that is an ultimate mindset for your goals. Yes, they are overwhelming. Yes, there's so much to do. And yes, you won't be able to accomplish all the goals that you need to accomplish. And yes, some of these goals may be goals that are not worth pursuing. And maybe you just don't realize that. Maybe I realize that softball is not worth pursuing. Maybe that's just not my way of life. You never know. But the one mindset that I would give to you guys for just all goals, this applies to every little part, the macro and the micro, is to trust in God. If you're a Christian, then hopefully you know what I'm saying. Just trust that He will take you where you need to go. If He is going to lead you to actually pursue and actually be successful in this goal, then you need to trust that He will get you there through the ups and downs. And maybe if His plan for you is that you end up not pursuing this goal and not succeeding in this thing you want to succeed in, then you need to trust that that is what's best for you. So in everything, in the macro and the micro, whether you should even do the goal or not, or whether you should improve, or whether you should slack on your workout today, you need to trust in God, because that is ultimately what's important. If you're not a Christian, then I would encourage you to learn about that, because that is ultimately, besides all of these goals, like, yes, we have so many goals and so much stuff that we want to do in life, and that is good. It is good to, at least I believe that it's good to want to be improving, and it's good to want to learn and to always be excited for life and just trying to learn and do more stuff through life. I think that is good. But ultimately, all of that is not going to matter. Like, when we die, my YouTube channel will go away. When I die, my physical body will go away. When I die, baseball and softball will go away. But the one thing that matters will be my soul and my soul status and where I stand in my relationship with Christ. So aside from all of these goals, yes, it's good to pursue them, but trust in God and understand that ultimately what is important is building a relationship with Him and surrendering your life to Him. So hopefully that made sense. Hopefully this video was helpful. Hopefully it was encouraging. I'm praying for you guys. I hope you guys can accomplish your goals. If you like this video, then definitely hit the like button. And if you subscribe, then I will see you in tomorrow's video.